So I'll set the scene and stuff. So Nate's character finds a chunk of an old newspaper. Basically, it's a front page with like most of the context except like the bottom portion of it, which had the final part of the article at least that was posted. This was posted way back when during when the old world was still around and actually was good, and not the whole 400-year collapse. So he starts reading and stuff, gets the attention of his brother Abe, and both of them start reading together, and the other party members begin slowly kind of filtering in, kind of reading over everyone's shoulder. As I'm gonna say Abe reads this out loud, and stuff, but everyone does. The news article describes the world, the old world, at least, as a very beautiful sight to see, glistening buildings throughout, technological advancements almost every day, practically, and becoming great. The progress slowed down and stopped for a moment because their power source they were using at the time, the great steam engines that they were using, fell short of the needs that they required. So, after a few months of experimenting and trying, they created the Great A Crystal Generator, which used giant magical gemstones as a power source and generate more power, which gave them more power than they could ever need, and they continued on progress. 60 years go by. More technological advancement stuff. The introduction and usage of the great land sculptors, giant mechanical men designed to sculpt the land as if it were clay. These colossal machines were bigger than mountains, able to move them as if they were large, simple river stones. About 6 of them were made. And that's all that was all that 6 of them were all that was ever needed. The great land sculptors shifted and moved the earth around to fit the needs of the people, allowing the great constructions of many great buildings. After a while, though, the crystal generators became shortcut and were not able to meet the needs and demand of energy that were once needed by the people. So a few more years went by, and they created the great eight portal rift. They started drawing energy from a different plane for energy. The power kept going and getting provided from this place, which gave them another 20 years of progress, more technological advancement, more and more. But the portal generator ended up failing as well, and then generator after generator came. Each one only lasted for a handful of years. Eventually, till the final generator, the Rift, as the people of the streets started to call it. It was designed to pull energy between realms, in the middle, the rift between worlds. It said it would be able to draw more power than any previous generator behind it. They activated it. The generator ran for a year and tore itself apart within a year. They were not able to open, but the damage was done. The Great Rift Generator ran for 1 year. Within that 1 year and stuff, it happened 5 times, where this blue beam would appear from nowhere and then all of a sudden expand and cause death and destruction unknown to it. Unknown like anything else. And it would almost appear at like random times. But 5 locations in the world were hit, changed dramatically, some more so than others. The 3 most devastating sites that were hit was
the desert,
or the gardening, or the great gardens and stuff of Rana.
What about the massive rift, the Onsori Rift?
The Konkori Reef.
Yeah, the Konkori Reef.
That actually used to be the world's capital. The nation of Maga. The head capital of the world. The very much head of the great nation.
So that's where all the humans originally were.
High elves, a good portion, large population of both high elves and
the vast majority.
No wonder they're all fucking dead.
Again,
Probably got
biggest.
radiation.
Dude, it was the biggest city of them all. It was the biggest city in the world, even bigger than the Platinum Nation.
They fucking dead now.
Yes.
Anyway, continue.
The other two, and the third most devastating was the splitting of the nation of Rama. Manufacturing of all the wartime goods. Of the place where basically Rama was one of the key cornerstones when the continent and stuff was in war during the war times and stuff before they got to this whole tech revolution, and it got split in two, along with various other places, and it starts elaborating along the idea about a possible, like, what they were actually tapping into with the Rift generator, but then cuts off. It like describes maybe like a quote from like one of the scientists and stuff. Maybe we touched something we shouldn't. Because again,
may God have mercy on us all.
Anyway, I will go above board to just explain it in a little bit better. The news clipping basically mentioned that the Rift generator was basically going between planes. And in between planes is the weave energy. And that's where they were planning on drawing energy. They hit something.
So basically, they were drawing energy from the space between spaces.
Exactly.
Ganunga Gap, or the Weave.
Ganunga Gap. Ooh, I like that.
That is literally the Nordic time before anything area. Basically, before the Big Bang happened. Ganunga Gap.
Ganunga Gap. Dude, I love that. Okay, it's getting dark as shit. It's gonna give me 5 seconds to turn the light on.
There goes the ambiance.
So hard to keep my mouth shut when he says things, because he'll pause at a perfect moment after he says something. Brain just clicks and it's like, fight your instincts.
You mean how the country used to be my guy?
What?
How the country used to... There was something where he said it was a head, and I fought the urge to say something about, ooh, head? Exactly. I had to fight my instinct.
Hey, by the way, what's the name of the world?
It's on the world map. The continent of Volmerica. I'll go with that, Volmerica.
Okay, well, that's the name of the continent, but what's the name of the world it's on? Because didn't you say that there might be more continents?
Yes.
Zyrus. The world of Zyrus.
Zone. The world of...
Of what?
Zome.
Zome?
Yes.
Alright, better get used to hearing, what in Zome are you even talking about?
That means everyone's a Zonian. We're gonna have to worry about Zone Tan coming out.
We don't speak of this.
Put me on the spot, okay? What the fuck am I supposed to do?
We never ever speak of that ever again.
Anyway, and that's what you get of the old. It gives you a rough idea of what the fuck was happening. At least, and and that was the main article. If you read the other side pages, it kind of gives a bit more information, but it gives like a handful of ads and stuff. But it was talking on like how the world was starting to decline during the Great Power Struggle that was happening.
Abe sees a picture of a gun in the paper.
That tracks.
1911. Get one of those today.
Nah, it's some like giant.
Now, question about this: is this written in like before language, like a language Michaeleen would not speak or understand? Is this all flying over my head? Is what I'm asking.
Okay. Abe's reading it out loud, and you are translating it to modern day common, but it's technically an old world common.
It's about 400 years old common.
Yeah, 400 years old. So the language has changed.
Without all the skibbity toilets in it.
Mm-hmm.
I can read it though.
Yes. So it's old world common. So if you squint at it really hard and kind of slow, like baby read it, basically, you kind of make sense of it, but it's difficult. It's very, very.
It's like it's like maybe trying to speak Icelandic with two golf balls in your mouth.
Yeah.
Probably.
That'd be a good way to describe it. But yeah. And and that's basically what happened and stuff in the old world. How it went from prosperity, bright future to we're doomed. There's nothing we can.
Oh, my head is splitting.
Like what?
This is a really depressing news article.
Yeah, we were kids when this shit was happening.
It's pretty on track with everything that happened.
I'm pretty sure that there's at least some sort of news messaging system, maybe with carrier pigeons. Like a general news thing. Like I'm sure at least somewhere there was a printing press. Like that had to be like one of the very first few things that they recreated, a printing press.
Probably.
Because it's not like they started, so they know some shit.
Yeah, they know some stuff. Okay, I will say this. It's the style of newspaper, the way it is and stuff. So the newspaper clipping is like New York style, like our modern day newspaper and stuff. It's more, but the newspaper nowadays and stuff is like literally like a piece of notebook paper and stuff. Very simple information on it, just like updates, like maybe like 2-3 things at most.
And it's all like local news, like local city news.
Yeah, more so local city news and stuff. Maybe I feel like you might get something related to something more related to like royalty stuff, since that's like the most form of entertainment.
So sort of like the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial thing. That's that kind of entertainment?
Yeah, something kind of like that. At least. And you know what? Someone feel free to roll me a history check or like knowledge check of some kind.
I feel Dare would be the best in this instance.
I got a 3.
I got a 26.
Yeah, he's gonna beat mine. I got a 17 on the die, and I probably got like maybe a 3 in history. So.
Okay, Dare. You pretty sure and stuff you've heard rumors and stuff that some royals or at least nobles have legit people and stuff, scribes, literally just writing what happens each day and stuff, and kind of passing it around. As a variation of like telenovela.
Hold on, time out. So could there potentially be like how they got in Fallout? There's just some group of people worshiping this world-ending device that caused all bullshit.
Could be.
Possibly.
Like they worship creation.
Well, put simply, at least, most people don't know what happened and stuff till the rifts get basically the Red Reaper after it turned off. Some people believe it got struck in the final blue strikes in the final one of those, or just got disassembled and scattered to the four winds, or lost.
Why does your mic pick up everything?
Who's Mike?
Yes.
So,
Anyway,
what was going on? I lost my brain. Just turned off for a minute. What were we talking about?
newspaper clippings were found, and anyway, I was kind of talking about newspaper. We kind of got into a little bit of a newspaper tangent and stuff, but anyway, that's what the newspaper article says. There are a handful of other artifacts in here, but you guys have, I'm gonna say collectively, you guys have seen all this room off. Okay, there's nothing more of interest, really.
Pretty happy with the shit that I found. Senshi's walk, seeing stone for the Fae, magic cloak, and I basically stole the beetle armor from Eiko.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Well, originally he was going to shove it down my throat, and then I wanted to wait and have Dare work on it, which was my idea.
Yeah, that's my idea too.
Well, no, I suggested it to Salt because originally it was just going to be you're stuck with armor.
Yeah. Put it this way, my friend suggested to make it a cursed item and stuff, and I went with that idea. But I decided to be nice and give you guys a way to tweak it.
You could have also added in the item that I sent you. The amulet.
Oh, oh.
But
That one then.
And then
but you can't now because I've said it in front of everyone else and it's being recorded.
I never described what the fuck the amulet does.
Oh, I can describe it for you.
Oh, no. That's above board knowledge, and that would ruin the game for everyone.
Yeah, fine, whatever. Just know that if... you know what? I'm not going to say nothing.
What it does.
I'm not going to say nothing about what it does. It's just that if we find a random amulet, I might not wear it.
Anyways, so would you guys have seen the general things?
I guess it's time to pack up and go. Do they have Dare's
I'm just gonna take my giant cannon.
We have a desert to get to.
Do they have Dare's information ready?
Yes, they provide. Anyway, they give you this interesting clean item. It's basic. I'm just being rifting at this point, and someone points shit on my ass. They basically give you one of these fuckers, but it's blue and gray. It has various markings on each side of it. And
for anyone listening, this is basically D12, but mega. It's a mega Rubik's cube, but it's basically a D12 giant
in shape.
In shape, yes. I don't remember what the name of this shape is, though.
It's something dodecahedron.
Yeah.
A dodecahedron?
No, that's 20. That's what the D20s are. They're dodecahedrons. Blah, 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 blah.
I was going with penta. Penta being 5.
Penta means 5.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Pentadecahedron. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so basically this interesting looking sphere with different shapes and symbols on it. Basically, they describe it simply as you hold it and stuff. It will basically float in your hand, and then it will basically float in your hand, and it will give you whatever information and stuff you would like to know about. At least it will have to take some time to get adjusted. You and it will have to adjust to one another. to where it dumbs itself down stuff to make it understandable for you. You have to adjust to it with the formatting and systems and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, this thing will twist and turn, creating different patterns by itself, and you can manually turn it to get to certain information. Yes. Okay. You guys proceed to exit. The Renoan opens up a personal gate for you. You get sent back, and you guys are all laying down in a shallow pool of water in the swamp. At least the water
is Lucy on my chest, or did she? When I came back, what'd she do?
Wait, what?
Lucy was actually kind of
Lucy is my Bantu lizard. Bantu lizards are gigantic fuck you giant lizards that move really, 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 really.
And we have put a large reduce spell on it.
Which means it can shrink down from being the size of like 2 elephants down to the size of a monitor lizard.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Renoan, she says, "Thank you for visiting in Shangri-La. Please come again whenever you see. This device will help." She hands you an interesting looking ring device with a bit of a point onto it. When she shows you how to use the device. You can use the device to travel to Shangri-La freely whenever you want. And this time you do not have to separate your souls from your body. So you have an anchor point. The device acts as the anchor. At least. So you guys can freely, physically walk to go into Shangri-La whenever you see fit.
So you're telling us that Shangri-La is basically our base camp?
If you choose to.
Or we can use the ship.
Now, let me ask you one thing: is Shangri-La one-to-one with the material plane? Like, if we enter into Shangri-La from one point in the world, will it be a mirror version of that, or will we be transported to the same location? Because if it's the same location, then we basically have an infinite transport from one location to a secure location outside of time, basically our own hyperbolic time chamber.
Okay. So, I'll explain this simply. With the anchor, when you set it down, it locks you down to that location. So if you put it down in the middle of the woods, it'll stay in that same spot in the middle of the woods.
Oh, no, I understand that.
You guys can choose to enter and leave it whenever. Time moves the exact same for you guys as it does on the outside. So time does not fly by. So if you guys spend an hour in Shangri-La, does an hour go by in the real world? Without that anchor, time would fly by insanely fast, as without measure. So
treat like a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, no, you stay in here and stuff, shit hits the fan. Okay.
But we could theoretically age wine in it. Yes. If time moves really, really fast in there.
In theory, you could do that. But the Shangri-La on the way out does make a request. As for the gift she gave you of entering the thing, she basically says that there were once 5 great pillars. Pillars and stuff that Shangri-La had. She would like you to go reclaim them for her. Yes?
Now, when she says pillars, are these literal pillars? Like, and by literal pillars, are they like Sun Wukong's staff that was a pillar on the Dragon King's castle, but it can shrink down?
Not pillars.
Are these literal pillars? Answer the question, TM.
For right now, I'll go with literal pillars and stuff. They aren't some Wukong style pillars, but they are stone pillars with carving on them and stuff. She wants you to reclaim them. They're old pieces of artwork that ended up falling out.
Did someone say time to go bonk?
I will put simply above board, these things are not weapons in any sense of the word.
They're literal stone pillars that have just somehow wound up in the overworld.
Yes. And she would wish...
I mean, if I could push it over on somebody, it's a weapon.
He's not talking.
The question is there some sort of arcane properties about these pillars? Like, do they leak into the world? Some sort of connection to the wub itself? Are these perhaps religious sites that we are having to steal from? Find out next time on Relics of the Past.
That is the end of the session, but put simply, so the game has officially, I'm gonna say this, the game has officially started. Alright, you guys have officially exited the prologue. The game. You guys are out of the tutorial.
So you're telling me,
Alright.
Me getting addicted to a drug.
That's just one. That's just one of the things that has supposedly happened in just the fucking tutorial.
Fought a gigantic fuck you.
Got swallowed by that bitch.
Got swallowed by that thing. Turned its shit into literal 2-ton bricks that are about this size.
Yeah.
Remember that shit? And all of this
sitting there for
in the tutorial of the game. This is GSI. This is like
this is just the fucking beginning.
Guys, not to mention, you guys rolled on a giant fuck you centipede and traveled into a different part of the weave itself, into a different dimension.
I mean, we also bullied a pirate.
We bullied a lot of things, okay?